Life has its own twists and turns, but it is what we make out of our circumstances that categorizes us as failures or victors. Today, we feature stories of resilience and tireless efforts to always be better. This is Able Differently, and I am Jane Theory. Stay tuned.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Every human being has a well-laid plan of the future that is full of success. The question is, what happens when life forces you to rewrite your own plan? This is the story of Charity Mbogho. Take a look at that story.
My life changed in a blink of an eye. I believe I was hardworking where I was. And the way you'd have your whole year planned out, I'm a planner by nature. It's like everything just changed.
What started as just pain, as Charity puts it, turned out to be a major reason for a series of other health conditions.
My journey started on the 9th of January 2018. I was driving to work and I just experienced a very sharp pain in my chest, which paralyzed my left hand, and I had to pull over to wait for the pain to subside. I cannot explain that pain. It was so unusual and I couldn't breathe for some time. I went to the hospital to be seen so that I can hurry up and go back to work and I won't have to leave the office early and I can just work till I'm done with the day's work. But yeah, unfortunately, when I got there, they first checked my blood pressure. First of all, I was sweating, and so the person at the reception was felt there was something wrong and immediately called a nurse. So I was ushered into the room, but there was no one actually. It was pretty new. And when they checked my blood pressure, it was about 220 over 190. And they were very amazed that I was walking, talking, and to me, nothing other than the pain I had experienced earlier. It was nothing. So when they asked me what had brought me there and I explained to them, they did some tests. The next thing I knew, there were like 2 doctors who came in and I was put on a gurney and strapped on, and it was like somebody delivering some really bad news. And the doctor just came and told me, unfortunately, we found that you've got blood clots, but we don't know where they are. So you have to be rushed to the main hospital.
At this point, all she wanted was to be discharged and go back home. However, other complications started setting in.
Having gotten discharged with lots of medication and all that, a week after that, I could not sleep. I remember prior to that, 3 days in a row. I think it was from Wednesday. I couldn't sleep and I was having a massive headache. At about 1 a.m., it was 1, almost 2, again I felt a sharp pain. The sharp pain is what woke me up in my chest. And immediately I woke up, I just felt I needed to throw up. So I tried getting off the bed to run to the toilet to throw up, because of course I didn't want to throw up on the floor. And I fell. I had not realized, but my whole right side was paralyzed. So I had not comprehended what was happening. So I still crawled to the toilet to try not to throw up on the floor. When I got to the toilet, I realized I couldn't remove I don't know what it's called. I was also paralyzed. I could not throw up. So I was basically choking on my own vomit. I also realized my speech was gone. There was nothing comprehensible coming out of my mouth. But she was a sharp lady. She called a few people and an ambulance was sent. I had to be resuscitated. and I was rushed to hospital. That's when I was told a clot has gone to my brain. Basically, I had a stroke and it had paralyzed my right side and I had lost my speech.
With all these conditions, which are also not well known, she has to be in medication throughout.
Till today, I struggle with eating. So that I remember actually, I think the entire of 2019, I was mostly taking queen cake and tea. So the old visitors, even my nannies would say, till now if they come, they bring queen cakes, because that was the only thing I could basically eat, because it will dissolve once the tea goes in. But till now, when I try to eat, I throw up. Sometimes I throw up blood. Sometimes you get constipated. Sometimes you don't even have the will to move to the next day, because the pain is so intense. It weakens you. You can imagine throwing up continuously to a point where you are gagging and there's nothing to throw up. Ugali and skuma, I'm not going to risk because of the pain I feel after. It is so painful that sometimes I'd rather be hungry. The hunger pangs are better than the pain I feel after I eat.
Conditions such as lupus manifest with symptoms that are alike to other diseases and therefore challenging to diagnose.
Later on in 2019, I woke up one day, my left leg was swollen and it was very painful and there was a dark spot. But I kept on ignoring it and it was getting more and more painful. Unbearably painful. So I decided, let me go back to hospital and find out. That's when I was told I actually had a clot, what they call a DVT, again that I developed on my leg. And again, unfortunately, a piece broke and went to my lungs again. So far, I've been hit by the clots twice in the lungs. I've gotten the DVT on my leg about 2 times, but at least the others didn't. They dissolved eventually, the ones I had on the leg. And it's at that time actually when I was there, that's when the doctor, based on the other symptoms now on my body, he was like, you have more than one autoimmune disease. That's when further tests were done and I was diagnosed now with lupus.
What worries her most and probably slows her response to medication is the fact that she has a son who has autism and fully dependent on her.
I remember when I woke up being told how he looks so much like me. And yeah, I didn't think there was anything wrong. He was like any other child. Eventually we managed to get out of the country. We even went to South Africa. And although I got 2 different diagnoses, but 3 out of the 5 specialists we saw gave the same, which was my son is severely autistic. He is non-verbal and that he will be totally dependent on me.
Having lost her job on medical grounds, she still has a family to take care of and she had to resort to another plan.
I started doing some branding work for people. First of all, I love it. I love the creativity behind it. And then it's something I've done before and I thought it was something that would at least occupy me and help me get a little bit of money to support my family. And then I was also doing HR consulting, and right now I'm also helping in recruitment. So that keeps me going. Even through the pain, sometimes the distraction kind of reduces the pain levels a bit, because you're distracted doing work. And the days when I can't completely, I let them be. The days when I can push myself to try and do something, I do it. So yeah, because even before I started helping with the recruitment firm, I was already even just trying to assist people I knew, because of course when Corona hit, many people lost their jobs. So just trying through my networks, and I actually realized by the end of 2020, I had helped around 10 people get jobs.
With all this, Charity does not want to be pitied. She is determined to make a difference, and to tell her story is a reason enough for her to inspire other people.
Personally, I've been creating awareness on autism since I found out that my son could be autistic, and I've been using my social media platforms. I would talk about what you go through. I would talk about I would share what autism is, because I think many people misunderstand what autism is. It's not mental illness. It's just a neurodevelopment problem and difference. I'd actually call it a difference, not even a problem, because they're just different in how they process things from the rest of us.
She is in a group that also makes her feel comfortable to share what she is going through.
I'm in a support group that is called Through the Roof. They are, it's for both mothers and fathers with special needs children and all special needs. We're talking of, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism, everything is under that. You're welcomed into the group. And it's Christian based, so it's a platform to be open and talk about what you're going through.
Charity says that sometimes they just need a friend to check on them.
In terms of support, and when I say support, I mean being there. I just mentioned to you, like what my kid has. Just coming to visit someone, sitting and sharing a laugh with them, it makes you stop thinking. Because like in my case, I'm in bed 24/7. All I have around me, all I'm left with is my thoughts. And that's how depression actually easily sets in, when your mind is not occupied. Just calling someone to check up on them, sending them a text is good enough. Support does not necessarily mean money.
One such friend for Charity is Mike.
This lady is so brave. She is so brave. Despite what she's been going through in her life, she still continues to soldier on. She still continues to fight to see another day. She's strong for her child, She's always there for her child. Like, literally, she might even forget herself, but her child is what that matters to her, That she might even miss medication for herself, but her child is a priority. And that, to me, it's just so encouraging, so encouraging. Seeing someone who has to go through all these, some have given up, some have just thrown in the towel and they're like, I can't take this anymore. But to her, she's still going on. She's still encouraging herself.
Mike is the project coordinator for Sklad.
Sklad, basically what it does, it identifies these cases, and by identifying these cases, they work together with these warriors by just giving them moral support, by supporting them whenever we can. And you find that autoimmune disease is a very costly disease. So some of these warriors are not able to afford the cost of medication and treatment. So that's when we come in as Sklad and bridge in that gap between them and their doctors by negotiating for consultation fees, bridging the gap between them and the laboratories because of the tests, negotiating their rates and all that, so that can be given subsidized prices, and also medication. So we book consultation for them, we pay for their lab tests, and whenever we can, we buy a month's prescription for their medication.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.